Hey, how's it going? My name is David Moria, and I run RoguePhoto.org. Rogue Photo is a nonprofit photojournalist who cover political demonstrations and campaigns for progressive leaders. Um, what we do is take photos at protests and donate them to other nonprofits who are organizing those protests. Um, Starting with back in January, I knew I could take my camera and be out at these protests and understand that this documentation is important to other people. I could have these photos for myself, but I think a nonprofit who runs it could be really useful as content, social content, and for their websites and Twitters and Instagrams, all those kinds of things. So I created this nonprofit where all photojournalists around the country can donate their photos and send them to their local nonprofits. Um, I've worked with the Women's March, Working Families Parties, the Green Party, um, the Action Network. You probably name anybody in New York, and I've worked with them to donate photos to them or collaborated on a project that we needed to create content for. These photos have been used in anything from websites to Instagrams, social medias, all of that kind of stuff, and that's really useful. Not only for the documentation, but to know that it happened. And you think of people like Pete Souza, who did all Barack Obama's 8 years of staff photographs and amazing photos from inside the White House, or Keisha Barr, who photographed the Women's March and the setup of the whole thing. They're amazing documentation, and if they're not with the people who should have them, which is the leaders, they should get them, and that's what Rogue Photo is doing. We work with the nonprofits to give them all the photos instead of just a photographer for the New York Times who takes the photos, leaves, goes to the newspaper, maybe gets one photo's headlines. No, I work with the nonprofit and say, hey, here I'm your photographer for today. You'll have 100 photos for the day. Like, that's useful for anything. That's headshots, that's stage shots, that's crowd shots, how many people were there, and that's how we work. And next year I want to expand and have a better website for people to upload all their stuff, similar to a Flickr. And I want that to happen. So Rogue Photo just continues to grow, and a community of photographers who work with their local representatives and people who need photos for their campaigns, and people like, let's say Bill de Blasio needs photographs, but doesn't have photos from Getty Images who are too expensive. Hire a photographer, a local photographer who would like to work with you. And that's what Rogue Photo wants to bridge that gap between the newcomers and those who need photos. So thank you so much, and I look forward to talking with you.